So a lot of people ask me what kind of kit I take on an expedition with me. As you can see from the kit around me now, it's quite a lot of stuff, because of course K2, any of these big kind of mountains, is not just a quick weekend away, so I've got to be prepared for pretty much every eventuality. Now before I take you through all of the kit that I've got laid out here, just bear in mind that this is only really my personal kit, and there'll be a lot of group kit that we'll be taking with us as well, or meeting out there. Things like the oxygen, extra tents, the mess tents, all sorts of things, the majority of the food as well. Anyway, come over here and have a look at what I've got. So of course we need to pack everything into big bags, so we've got lots of big heavyweight duffel bags. These will be carried by the porters, so they're really robust. They can be thrown around onto and off the back of lorries and things on their way towards the mountain. Got a couple of rucksacks here, a 50 litre and a 70 litre as well. Of course, the standard gaffer tape. If it can't be fixed with a hammer or gaffer tape, then it's probably can't be fixed at all, so really key stuff whenever you're going on an expedition. Ballistic proof, military grade glasses, sunglasses to keep you safe. The intensity of the sun up there is incredibly strong on the eyes, so you have to be really careful, especially against the snow, so look after yourself so you don't go snow blind. I've got 3 pairs of these. Helmet. Interesting, helmets are really not worn a huge amount on Everest, but on K2 everyone wears a helmet pretty much all the way because of the danger from rockfall, and of course the mount for various cameras and equipment. The crampons, nice new pair of sharp crampons, so of course these attach to the bottom of the boots, help you lodge into the snow and the ice, stop you from sliding around. Got 3 ice axes that I'm going to be taking, sort of a standard walking axe. So nice and lightweight. This is the kind of thing that probably come to the summit with me. A pair of technical climbing axes, slightly heavier, much sharper and much more, well, aggressive I guess you could say. So when we're climbing and we're fixing the ropes the first time, these are the things that we'll be using to make our way safely up the slopes. We've got snow stakes for embedding into the snow to keep us safe up there. I've got 120 metres of 6mm rope, very, very narrow gauge but very strong. This is the kind of thing we use for emergency rigging. At the back here is a dome tent, a 10-man dome tent that we'll be using in base camp for all of our our mess tents. In terms of some of the food we're taking, I've got some examples here. So scrambled egg, ham and potatoes, so some of my breakfast. Very high energy to weight ratio, so over 500 calories for only about 125 grams, so nice and lightweight, and actually it tastes pretty good. One of the things that people often ask me in the mountains is how on earth do you go to the loo? So 2 things that you really need to take with you. First of all, I don't know if you can read that, Jake's pee bottle. Well, yeah, it does what it says on the tin. Yeah, that's clean, luckily that one, but it has been used before. And no, I'm not taking a dog with me, but some doggy poo bags, because high on the mountain, that's what you do your business in, but biodegradable as well. So it's not particularly nice, but it's handy up there. We've got torches, we've got plenty of roll mats, thermarests, all sorts of devices. I've got 3 stoves over here, good old spork, so spoon, and several of those. One of the most useful but simple pieces of kit I've ever made for myself is a simple seat that's in base camp, especially if you're sitting on rocks or maybe on a chair when it's cold, just give you a little bit of insulation under your bottom. Quite a lot of water bottles over here. Now if we come over here, we've got the the summit kit, if you will. So the 850 fill down jacket, incredibly warm, lots of pockets, really good for carrying equipment and gear with you. Similarly with the down salopettes, you've got the nice big fleecy down mittens, look more like boxing gloves, but really, really warm. Got several pairs of those. Over here we've got the boots. They look like a cross between some weird wellies and some ski boots, but again, very well insulated, keep you warm at altitude. They've actually double boots, so there's a liner boot as well. Something that's a little bit of a treat down in base camp, down booties, a little bit like slippers, but keep you nice and warm, your feet nice and warm in base camp. Got 2 sleeping bags, one that's a -27 sleeping bag, the other's a -40 sleeping bag. Probably the -40, once I'll start rigging up the mountain, that will start to go up the mountain and stay up, so that we're not carrying sleeping bags up and down constantly, but you have one bag that's on the mountain, one bag that's down at base camp, a couple of pairs of goggles, spare down jackets, of course the patriotic flag, hopefully to see that flying from the summit, but at very least to have that flying in base camp so everyone knows who we are. Lots of nice warm fleecy things, loads of pairs of gloves and spare gloves over here. I've got solar panels. I've got 2 big solar panels which generate 120 watts of power, and a big lithium battery as well, which can charge up. I can then charge my computer, devices, iPhone off those. Now, of course, I won't get any reception with my iPhone, but useful for rigging through a satellite phone to send pictures and data back to the UK. Some of the climbing equipment, so a pretty simple, straightforward harness, lots of carabiners, and ascenders, so we use these when we're climbing up the ropes that we've rigged. Now, this is my little bit of fun, so a nice box of things like Scrabble as well, because we're in base camp for a long time. You've got Scrabble in there. I've got Monopoly cards as well, a few books, some of my high altitude drugs, which I might have to take if anything goes wrong, but hopefully those won't get opened or won't get used. So of course, keep morale up there. A few more bits of food, so lots and lots of different flavours of energy gel, really high energy to weight ratio, the kind of thing that when you're climbing, just tear off the top, gulp that down. It can be quite sickly. Pink grapefruit, yuck, I don't really like grapefruit, but it'll probably give me the energy when I need it. Isotonic drink powder to put in your water to give you lots of energy as well. And things like my first aid kit, all of my, look at that, diarrhea relief, because you really don't want to have to be, well, using those any more than you really need to when you're up the mountain. And plenty of sun cream, because you get pretty warm up on the mountain when the sun is out. So that is all of the kit, or some of the kit that we've got. I've now got to try and work out how to get all of that back into these few bags. I've got about 88 kilos of baggage allowance to take on the plane with me. That's then got to be further divided down with the porters, because they can only carry about 20 kilos each for the walk into base camp. So that's a quick run through of all the kit. The packing, I think, is going to be slightly more intense. Thank you very much.